Hello everyone. First of all, congratulations for choosing Python and welcome to the community. Python is a fantastic language to learn and work with. Currently, it is also one of the most popular and best paid programming language worldwide. So, in this lecture, we will start with the basics of Python. So, what is Python? Why we need Python? Why we use Python? Python is a general purpose, interpreted, object oriented, high level programming language. This is much more. This is what complex definition is written in my screen. So we will just break this definition and learn one by one. What is the meaning of general purpose? What is the meaning of interpreted? What is the meaning of object oriented and high level programming language? So first of all, we know, I'll tell you one thing, that we have two different types of programming language. The first one is general purpose programming language, and the second one is domain specific programming language. So what is the difference between this both, like general purpose and the domain specific? General purpose programming language is a language which is capable of creating all types of programs, like C, Python is all called as general purpose programming language. And what is the meaning of domain specific programming language? Domain specific programming language is a language which is not a general purpose, means it is designed for a domain, for any domain specific, for any domain. For example, the example of domain specific programming language is HTML, Logo, and MATLAB. The next statement we can see in our screen. 1 minute, I'll just highlight these things. The next statement in our screen we can see that's interpreted programming language. What do you mean by this interpreted programming language? So as we know that we have two things, like one is compiler and one is interpreter. So it is basically used to compile our program. So interpreted programming language means the language which compile its code one by one, which compile its instructions one by one. That is called as interpreted based programming language. So what are the interpreted programming language available is the Python. Python execute its instructions one by one. Visual Basic, we can take the example of Visual Basic, .NET. They are all like interpreted based programming language. So what is that? The compiler based programming language. What is the meaning of this compiler? It also compiles the source program to the target program, but first it reads the complete program and then at a time it will just try to convert it to the target program. It will not do line by line. That is called as compiler based programming language. So we can take the example of C, C++, Java. These all are the example of interpreted based programming language. So now we know that what is general purpose, what is interpreted. Now the next third statement we can see here is object oriented programming language. So what is the meaning of this object oriented programming language? We know that we already studied in Java, we already studied in C# that the definition of object oriented programming language. So object oriented programming language contains the concept of class, object, inheritance, abstraction, polymorphism, etc. So same as that, it is also present in Python. We can use the concept of class, we can use the concept of inheritance, etc. We will see this in more detail in the next lecture. So the next statement is high level programming language. What is this high level programming language? High level programming language. So, okay, I'll tell you the definition of high level programming language. High level programming language is the language which is programmer friendly, which is friendly to the programmer. It's less memory efficient, easy to understand, simple to debug, simple to maintain. It's portable. What do you mean by this portable? Portable means code written on one platform will work on the another platform, that which have wherever we have this Python interpreter installed, wherever we have that interpreter installed, that is called as a portable language. We need a compiler or interpreter for the translation. So that is called as high level programming language. So we know that Python is also a high level programming language. It is very friendly to the programmer. It's portable. We can compile on one machine and we can use on another machine also. It's very simple to learn. It's easy to learn. And the third definition, we can see that Python is versatile language. used in so many domains. Like we know that we can use Python for web development. Python are using developers are using Python for machine learning, data science, automations, etc. So why we choose Python? Python is easy to understand, free and open source language. It's freely available. We don't have to buy a license to write the code in it. Fewer code lines. It will take very less time to write a code, to learn a language. It's having a very huge community. A lot of developers are available for Python. So if we stuck anywhere, we can ask easily in any means like Quora, in Stack Overflow, anywhere we can ask the question, we will get the reply because their community is very very big. It's portable. I already told you that portable means if we write code in one machine, it can be run on the different platform also. Just we need an interpreter to compile interpreter to work with this file. Now we will see the Python installation and editors. So to install the Python is very very easy steps. We just need to go on the official website of Python. So we can write a Python. Python. Just we will write the Python, and we can see that the first link is www.python.org. We will click on this link, and then we can just click on the downloads. See, we can see here there is a download button. Here we can go to Python and downloads, and here you can see that there is a download button, download for Windows Python 3.8.2. so when we click on this, it will just start downloading the process. So but in my system I already installed the Python, so I don't need to install it again. So in the next tutorial I will tell you how to do the installation and all. The next one is install Anaconda Navigator. What is this Anaconda Navigator? It's a kind of, we can say for now, it's a kind of text editor. It's an intelligent text editor, which is which is created for Python. It's mainly used by the data scientists and who worked on the AI things. It's it's a very intelligent editor. So how we can install it? Again, we will go to the official website of Anaconda Python, and we can see here individual edition of Anaconda. We can click on this, and here we will get the link, download link. So when we click on this, it will start downloading. So now after download, we can install it, and after that, when this Anaconda Navigator will be installed. So how I will start this Anaconda editor. So but just for learning the basic, we don't need this kind of editor. But yeah, if you start with this kind of editor, it's very good because you need the latest trend, how the trend is going on, so you will go with the trend. Now I will show you how to start this Anaconda Navigator. So how to start is just I will go to my start. Here I will write Anaconda Navigator. So it will start the Anaconda Navigator. It is starting the Conda process, and then it's loading. Okay, I think now it's started. So you can see that this is the Anaconda Navigator, where we can see that there are two things. First one is cmd.exe prompt, and another one is Jupyter Lab. Okay, another one is this Orange 3 and RSR Studio. So basically this Anaconda Navigator is used for R programming language also, but we will not go for this now. We will just see what is this cmd.exe prompt and Jupyter Lab. Okay, so first of all, I will tell you this cmd.exe prompt. So it will, when I click on this launch, it will just simply launch our command prompt. So here we can write, so our Python editor will start. So we can just check it's working or not. So I will write 2 plus 2. So it is telling that 4. 2 into 2, 4. 2 minus 2, 0. 2 by 2, 1.0. Like this, how we can run our program one by one. This is the way of interpreted language. That's we are executing one statement at a time. Like we are writing one statement, we are executing one statement. So this is how we can test our Python codes, Python instructions in this command prompt also. Now next one is Jupyter Lab. Here, if we launch this, it will just open the editor. So you can see the in the same browser it is opening our in this localhost 8890 lab. Here it opens this launcher. Here we can see that there are so many things available. So we will just start this Jupyter notebook. This is notebook where we can write our programs. So I will start this Python 3. So see, you can see that it's a very good editor where we can write our programs. So, okay, fine. So I will start. I'll again come back to my presentation. So you already know, see that how to start the Jupyter Lab, how to install the Anaconda Navigator. For more detail, I will create another video for this Python installation and editors. So coming to the next slide. Now the next slide is print information in Python. So printing is, we know that in every programming language, first of all, we will see how to print a hello world program. So we will see in the Python how we can print the hello world program. So we know that how we are printing the hello world in JavaScript, how we are printing the hello world in Java language. So same way, we have a syntax here like print inside this parenthesis, we will pass our string. So this will print our string. So here it is written that in Python, if you want a statement to be printed in the console, you have to use a word called print. Here is the code which will print hello world. So in our, how we will see in our Jupyter notebook, how we can run this program. So I will write print inverted comma, in the parenthesis we will write hello world. After adding this code, we just need to press shift or enter, shift and enter. So it will compile our program. We can see that it is already compiled and printed the output, hello world. Now, suppose what I want to do is I will create one variable str is equal to, I will assign the value hello world. After that, what I will do, I can do simple enter, so it will just extend the same line. So here we can write print. I want to print this variable, so I will write simply print str, enter. So here we can see that same thing is again printed by using the help of variables. So, but I'll tell you what is a variable. Variable is just a memory allocation which allocates the memory, and we can assign the strings, we can assign the numbers inside the variables. So this is all about how to print the strings in the screen, and how to print the string by using the variable. So next thing we will start, we will see how to do this plus minus things like 2 plus 2. Suppose I'll create one variable sum. I'll create one variable num1 is equal to, I'll place here 2. Okay, after that I will put another shift enter. Then I want to print this num1. So I will use simple print statement and will pass the num1 variable inside this. So I want one more variable num2 is equal to, I will pass here 10. After that, I want the sum of this num1 and num2. So I will create sum is equal to num1 plus num2. Okay. Then again, I will put shift plus enter. So it will again compile. Every time, whenever we print, we will press shift plus enter. What it will do, it will just compile that statement. Now I want to print that sum. So I will write print sum. It is printed 12, but I want something like it will print. I want some string sum of num1 and num2 is, then I want to pass that variable sum. So I will pass, how I will pass that variable, by comma. I will separate this string and this variable by using comma. Now when I press shift enter, it will print something like this. The sum of num1 and num2 is 12. This is how we can use the print statement to print something on the screen. Now we will see the next slide. Next slide is getting input from user. how we can take input from user. What we have seen in the last slide is to print something on the screen. Now we will see how to take input from the user. So we need a method called input. This input method takes an input from the user, and then after that it will evaluate the expression. But what is the meaning of this expression? Expression means wherever the computation is involved. Like how? Suppose there is a variable a, we can see here there is a variable num1 is equal to 2, num2 is equal to 10. Now this is the expression, sum is equal to num1 plus num2. Here something is calculating, something computation is going on. So this is called expression. So input is used to take the input from the user. So for now here we can see that in num1 we are just passing the value. In num2 also we are passing the value. We hard coded this value 2 and 10, but now I want that this when I run this program, the program should ask a value from me, from the user. So again we will see how. So we know that we need a input method. So I will write something like this, str1 str is equal to input, and I will do shift enter. You can see that it is asking something. So I will print Rahul, enter. So it's printed Rahul, but I want to see that what is stored in this variable str. So what I will do is print str. So you can see that here it already printed Rahul. Okay, fine. So we already seen that how to use the input statement. So the next point is written. Python automatically identifies whether user entered a string or a number or a list. So this is also when we do the input. So Python identify that it's a list, it's a number, or it's a string. Fine. If input provided by the user is not correct, suppose what if we provide input something which is not correct. So what the Python will do? The Python will just throw the error, or it will throw some kind of exception. Okay, it's also fine. So next, Python example to accept input from a user. So now we will see this example, how to use the different kinds of input. So now till now we have seen that how we can print the statement on the console and how we can take the input from the user. But now suppose I am writing like this, str is equal to input. So it is now I will run this program. So it is asking for something, but we don't know that what it is asking. It is asking for a roll number. It's asking for the name. It's asking for the registration number. It's asking for the phone number, email, anything. What it is asking, we don't know. So what we will do is, suppose I will just pass one value. We can write something like that also. Str is equal to input enter name. We can pass something like this, like how I have described here. We can pass something like this, enter name. Now if we run this, see it is asking enter name. Here it's showing some label, and then it is asking for some input for this statement. So now we are giving Rahul and then enter. So whenever now we will print this, print str, it will just print Rahul. So we can write something like this also, print your name is str. Str is a variable. We will pass this str because we already stored the value inside this str. So it is printing your name is Rahul. Correct? We have already, now we know that how to take input, how to print something to take input, like how we have done here. Okay, now we will come to the next slide. Get a string input from the user. So by default, Python input method will take the input as a string. We don't need to specify anything to take the input as a string. By default, it takes input as a string. This is all string value we have taken input. Now we will see how to take input from the user as an integer. So Now I want to do some types of computation, like I want to do some kind of calculations. So I will do num1 is equal to input. Inside this I will write enter number 1. Like this I have given. Now I will write here some typecasting, like I am just casting this string to integer this way, and then I will press enter. So see, you can see that it is asking for some kind of input. Now I can pass here 4. Now I want to print this number, so I will write print num1. It is printed 4. Suppose if I will in the same statement, if I will execute this and I will pass, it is asking for integer, but I will pass the string value, what will happen? See, it's throwing some value error. It's throwing value error invalid literal for int with the base 10, because this is not the string whatever we passed. This is a string. This is not the integer value. This is a string. So we need to pass only numeric value whenever we will use the input method in the front of input, int method in the front of input. So again we will compile this, shift enter. Now we can pass 10, and now I will try to print this. This is printing 10. So suppose I want to take some kind of floating values. What do you mean by floating values? Floating values will contain the decimal points. Okay, so how we can do that? We will just use one variable num2 is equal to in the place of int we will pass float input, again enter number 2. Like how we can do, we can take the floating value, we will just do enter. So here we can pass 2.2. Okay, now if I will print this, print num2, it will print the floating number. So this way we can take string input, we can take integer input, we can take the float input. Now coming to our slide, we have already discussed this. So this is all for now, the basics of Python. Please like and subscribe my video. I'll create the more video on this Python. We will see next topic is like some more thing, like what is variable, what is operators, how we can use the variable, how we can use the operators, and how we can use the if-else condition, what are the data structure present in the Python, the built-in data structure, the user-defined data structure. Thanks for now. Please like and subscribe my video.